Hey everyone, it's Nerd. Welcome back to, I don't know what it's going to be, probably like a new series on my channel. Basically, game reviews for me take a while to kind of make, so I thought, why not make a new series while my latest review is going to take a while. I'm going to be reviewing Final Fantasy 16, and I'm only about like 15 hours into it right now, and it's like a 40-50 hour game, so it's going to take some time, but I thought in the meantime, I could start this kind of new thing called My Thoughts On. And this series is kind of going to be like a podcast, kind of me just talking about series or games that I'm looking forward to playing. So I hope y'all sit back, relax, get some popcorn, and these are my honest thoughts on Persona 3 Reload. So I know when, this is some backstory here. If you don't know, in January, I made a game review on Persona 3 Portable, and at the time, I hated the game. God, I still hate it. I think it's the worst Persona that they've made. Now, granted, I haven't played 1 and 2, so I can't say if it's the worst out of the 5, but out of the 3 I've played, 3, 4, and 5, I think it is the worst one. So, that review actually did pretty well. I'm kind of shocked it did. Thanks for the support, guys. But I kept seeing online people are freaking out about this new game coming out, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening? I think I was playing through, I don't fucking know what. No, it wasn't Final Fantasy X. It was, God, I remember what game I was playing. But I was like, what is going on? I hopped on Twitter and I saw this leak, and it was like Persona 3 Reload. And I'm like, the fuck? What? Didn't we just get a Persona 3? Well, I watched the trailer, and my God, that game looks amazing. I'm shocked, kind of, because I went into it thinking, this is going to be stupid, this is going to be dumb. I just played through Portable. I hated Portable. Am I going to like this game? And at the time I saw that first trailer, I was like, oh my God, this is the Persona 3 that I wanted. This is what I wanted Persona 3 to be. Now, yes, I did not play FES. I did not play the original. I only played Portable. I don't currently have access to the original or to FES without emulating it, and I cleared actually all my emulating stuff off my computer so I can make room to make game reviews. So I just wanted to wait and see, and I played Portable, hated it, like I said earlier. If you want to go check out the review also, it's in the description below, I'll link it, and I'll probably put a card somewhere on screen. You can go check it out, but I didn't like it, so I was like, oh my God, this is the Persona 3 for me, right? But then more stuff starts coming out about it, like that it's not going to have any content from FES or Portable. So they elaborated on it, and they were like, yeah, so we're not going to have the answer. We're not going to have Femc, which is the female protagonist. And I was like, okay, well, that also then means this is not the definitive way to play Persona 3, because the discourse I keep hearing online is via Twitter. We stand Twitter. Actually, no, we don't. I hate Twitter, but I'm on there every fucking day. Is that there's no definitive way to play Persona 3. FES has the answer, but then Persona 3 Portable has the female protagonist. There's no definitive way to play this game. And I'm like, okay, well, I just assumed after seeing that first trailer of Persona 3 Reload that, oh, you know what? This game is going to be the definitive version. No, because they already have gone out and said, no, this is basically not going to be, because there's no answer, there's no female protagonist. Now, I'm assuming that what they're going to do is they're going to make either the answer, female protag, or both be DLC. Now, I've seen this before. They did this with Soul Hackers too. They did this with Persona 5 Royal. They're actually doing this with Persona 5 Tactica. If you've seen what they're doing, they're making Kasumi and Akechi, DLC. I don't know if they're day 1 DLC, but they're DLC, because there's an extra story part that's DLC. And I'm like, okay. So I see everyone getting all kind of pissed off because there's no answer, there's no female protagonist, and I'm like, well, it's not out of the realm to assume that Atlas is going to be doing DLC and having the answer, female protag, or both in the game somehow. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be DLC. I think it will be, because it's kind of weird that they wouldn't do that, because we know Atlas, they love their money, right? They did, like, it was, God, how much money was it for content? It was like $30, $40 for like Kasumi costumes in Royal, like, and then for Soul Hackers 2, it was what, like $20, $30 for like costumes and then like a story mission. Like, they've done that. They keep doing it. And while we keep complaining, we keep buying it. Now, I have not bought any of that. I have not bought the DLC from them for Soul Hackers 2 or Persona 5 Roll. I never did. So, and Strikers, I think Strikers had DLC. I did not buy the DLC for that. No, I didn't. But it's just, I wouldn't put it past them to make it DLC. So if you're worried that this is not the definitive way to play Persona 3, Reload, I think they're going to make it DLC. I wouldn't put it past them to do it. You know what I mean? But kind of shifting focus from that, let's look at the gameplay, a second. It looks like very good. I'm going to talk about the graphics in a minute, but just pure gameplay wise, I think it looks really good, And people are complaining that, oh my god, they don't have the spinning, revolver thing for the action, and then the spell and the defend, the item, they don't have that. But, I don't really care. It's cool. It was cool when I played Portable, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in a video game. No, it really wasn't. It really was not. But I think the gameplay, I don't know if they've improved upon it. I've only seen stuff from like the trailers and kind of like the leaked IGN footage, but it looks good. I think it looks good, but what I'm kind of worried about is it seeming too much like Persona 5. Now, if you know kind of how they made this game, you'll know that they took heavy inspiration from Persona 5, because that's the best-selling Persona game in the entire franchise. It's what put Persona on the map for so many Western fans. So, in an interview, I can't remember who said it, but one of them was like, oh yeah, so we're kind of basing this off of Persona 5 in a way. And at the time, I was like, that's kind of weird, but if you look at the trailers and stuff, you're going to notice that the shadowing, like the drop effect, like where you have the character and you have like in Persona 3 Reloaded, it's like a blue, like quote unquote shadow behind them. That's kind of like how they're doing it, and that's what 5 did. But I'm worried that this game is going to feel too much like a Persona 5 knockoff, and I'm worried about that, because I want this game to be good. I want this to be, like, a very good game. And I don't want it to feel like it's just a knockoff of another game they made. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that it's just, I don't know. I just don't want it to feel kind of like Persona 5. I understand Persona 5 basically saved the franchise. I get that. Totally understand that. But at the same time, you can kind of veer off from Persona 5 and you can make your own thing, Yeah, Persona 4 Golden, when it was on Steam, sold over 1 million copies in a year. You know what I mean? They don't have to copy Persona 5 to get sales. Persona 4 Golden has like almost nothing in common with Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. But it sold over 1 million copies. That's really good. That is good. Selling over 1 million copies means, hey, the fans, we want this. Keep making this, right? So I just don't think they should be copying Persona 5. I think they can make their own thing. I like some of the things that they're adding, such as that blue shadow, I like that. Or like, kind of like the main, like not the main menu, the menu, if you've seen that shot where Makoto, the protagonist, I call him Makoto, you can call him whatever the hell you want, I call him Makoto, where he comes down and it's like a water effect, kind of, that's based off Persona 5. It is. And I love that. I think that's cool too, but I'm worried that they're going to be like changing, like, I don't know, changing dialogue, changing story, maybe even changing gameplay to kind of match 5. And while they're both in the same series, 3 and 5, they're not the same game. They're not. Maybe I'm getting too worked up over this, but I feel like they're trying to just copy what they've already done. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're just I'm just worried about that, you know? Kind of like looking at the gameplay though, it looks unique, but at the same time it feels like I'm just watching Persona 5, but with like a Persona 3 like skin or mod over it, kind of, in a sense. And I'm worried that while we play it, it's gonna feel like, maybe for me, that I'm just playing Persona 5 all over again, which that game's 100-something hours. I don't want to replay it right now. But kind of bouncing off that, let's go to the graphics a second. This is one thing I think that Atlus really understood, is just how good they can get these graphics, right? 5, I think, had very good graphics, but I think 3 Reload has even better graphics. Now, granted, I'm comparing basically apples to oranges. I'm comparing a PS4 game to a PS5 game. I understand I'm doing that, right? And I don't want this whole video to be I'm comparing it to Persona 5, because that's not what this is. This is about Persona 3 Reload, right? But I just think that Atlus took what we liked from 5 in the sense of the graphics and then just enhanced it to be even better. And I like that. I love the character sprites. We've only seen Protag, Makoto, Yukari, and Junpei, but they look like, at least for the party, and they look so good. God, those are the best sprites I think I've ever seen. I mean, they look so crisp, clean. Like, I am so here for it, right? Like, it looks so good. I'm very excited to see what they do with this. I mean, and then even, I know this is a complaint I had for Free Portable, if you saw my video, that there's no, like, character model for you walking around the school. There's only a character model for you walking around Tartarus. Well, I understand that was, like, a limitation for Persona 3 Portable. They could have just ported FES, but whatever. Who cares, right? I love that we're seeing a, like, character model for the protagonist walking around. That in and of itself is going to make me love this game. I'm going to call it right now, because that was one of my main complaints after putting, how many hours? 80-something hours into Persona 3 Portable, that it didn't feel like a Persona game. This feels like a Persona game, and I'm absolutely here for it. I am so excited to play this game. You know, there's just so many things about this game that I'm excited to hear, excited to listen to even. Like, the music, it's a great example of this. That new song from Lotus Juice, oh, that song sounds so good. Jeez. Like, that song sounds good. I mean, I wonder if it's like a remix of, like, I don't even know what, or if it's like a brand new song. But God, does it sound good. It sounds really good, you know. And I'm excited to see what this game has to offer. You know, I am. But what's kind of frustrating at the same time is that I just spent how much fucking money? How much money was Persona 3 Reloaded, or Persona 3 Portable? I think it was $30. I think it was $30. I just spent $30 on a game I hated from Atlus, and now I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to pay basically for the same game again, probably 60, or I think it's going to be 60 or 70. Oh, God. But it's just, I don't really know. You know, because I feel like I've already played this game. And if you know me, you know I absolutely hate playing games more than once. I do. I hate playing games more than once. Because of the fact that I already know what happens. Like, why am I playing this game again? I already know all the twists and turns. I already know what happens. Even my favorite game of all time, Persona 4 Golden, I have never played it or like more than one time. I've only played it one time in my entire life. And because if y'all ever saw that video, I think it was by Rasputin, it was why he specifically hates playing games over again, because it ruins the luster of that game. And I'm so worried that if I replay Persona 4 Golden, that it won't be my favorite game all the time anymore. I love that game so much. And that's kind of then leading into Persona 3. I already played through Portable, right? Like, well, granted, I hated it, so here's hoping that Reload makes it better, but I already know the twists and turns, you know? And I think it's going to be something I'm going to dock off in my review. I'm going to call it right now that I already experienced this game, but that's not really I don't know if I'm going to do my review. I don't know. I might, you know? I already played this game, so what the fuck? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, seriously, like, a lot of us, our first time playing Persona 3 was Portable back in January of 2023, right? That was our first experience in the Persona 3 universe, right? Because I don't know about y'all, but for me, when I was a kid, my first ever console, my first ever, like, console ever was a DS. My first ever, like, home console was a Wii. I'm a Wii kid. I grew up on the Wii, right? So I went from kind of brief of how don't worry, this applies to Reload, but I went from the DS to the Wii to the Wii U to the 3DS to the Xbox, actually Xbox One, before I went to Switch. Then I went to PS4, and then ever since then I've kind of been a PS4, PS5 kind of person. You know what I mean? Like, I have a PS5, you know, but kind of, you're going to notice that I never had a PlayStation console up until the PlayStation 4. I didn't get a PlayStation 4 until 2019. Yeah, I did not get a PlayStation 4 until 2019. I got a PS4 Slim. I didn't know it was a Slim. I had no knowledge of PlayStation, besides the fact that some games that I wanted to play, like, actually, the whole reason I got a PS4 Slim was because I wanted to play Persona 5. That was the whole reason why I got it, was Persona 5 Royal was coming out, and I wanted to play it. It looked so good, right? So that's actually the reason why I got a PS4. But you're going to notice throughout my childhood, I never had a console outside of, like, an Xbox that wasn't Nintendo. I got an Xbox when I was, like, maybe, like, 13, 12, maybe. Like, I didn't get one until I was at least, like, in my preteens, right? Like, so I also had, like, no knowledge of the gaming sphere, right? Like, I only used, like, my, like, tablet, my iPad for, like, watching Minecraft YouTubers and playing mobile games. I had no knowledge of what... If you walked up to me when I was, like, 8 years old and said, what is a PlayStation? I'm like, what are you talking about? What is a PlayStation? I don't know what that is, right? It's kind of embarrassing to say it out loud, but that's kind of where I'm coming from here. So a lot of our first experience playing Persona 3 Portable was in January. I had never even heard of Persona until I saw one of my favorite YouTubers kind of do, like, a Let's Play of Persona 5. And I'm like, wait, this looks really, really good. Like, let's do this. Yeah. Wait, I need to get a PS4? Ooh, let's go get one, I guess. I don't know. Took me a while. I actually had to save up quite a while for it, because luckily it was actually on sale. But still, consoles are very expensive nowadays. They're very, very expensive. You know, which is why I'm more like a console person than a PC person, because PC is too expensive. But focusing our conversation back on Persona 3 Reload, you know, it's our first experience was in Persona 3 was with Portable back in January of 2023. And so I'm worried that it's too close. I just don't understand why they even ported Portable in the first place. They could have waited. I think if they would have waited, like, or just not even ported it at all, I think, and then just they release Reload, like, how it's going to be released, I think it would maybe sell better. I understand that people buying Portable at the time, we didn't know there was a Reload coming out, you know, and, like, it was on, I think, April Fool's Day, or, like, the day after, what we saw a screenshot of, like, HD Yukari, and we were all like, oh, that's a fake, that's not real. Yeah, it was real, but still, I don't think I know they wanted to make money. That's the whole reason Atlas does anything, is to make money. I understand that. But at the same time, I think that maybe releasing this, like, Reload before Portable maybe would be better. I don't know, because Portable left such a sour taste in my mouth. I absolutely despised it. I thought the character writing was horrific. I thought the story was the most boring game I've ever played in my life. The gameplay was fine. The music was actually pretty good, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So now going into Reload, I have this mindset of, oh, I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to like this game. This game's going to be so boring because I didn't like Portable. And I'm worried that that's going to kind of skew how I view this game. I want to like this game. I want to. Because everyone I've seen on Twitter, at least, like, all my friends, on Twitter and on different like social media platforms are saying that Persona 3 is their favorite Persona game of all time. And I'm like, well, how the am I not getting this? I'm not understanding how they're loving it, and I'm sitting over here in a corner like, well, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I was not a fan when I played it. I know when I got halfway through it, I genuinely thought of quitting. Like, I was so done with Portable. I'm like, this game sucks. Why do I keep playing it? You know, why do I keep doing this? This is stupid. But, you know, I'm kind of glad I kept, you know, going with it because I got a good review out. That's really it. But, God, it's just, I'm worried that me and, like, my perception of Persona 3 is going to be so skewed by the fact that I hated Portable that if I go into Reload thinking the same thing, I'm going to absolutely hate it. And I'm worried. I don't want to hate this game. I want it to be good. This is what I want Persona 3 to be for me. You know? Because in my review, if you listen at the end, it's like, it didn't feel like a Persona game. I'm kind of paraphrasing what I said. Trying to remember, this was like 5 months ago. I don't think this was a Persona game. Like, it didn't feel like one. I'll never play a Persona 3 after this because it left such a sour taste in my mouth. But I'm gonna give Reload a chance because maybe there's something that I'm missing that in Reload it will be so good, right? Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Maybe I am. I think I am, since every person on Twitter seems to think that this is the best game ever created. And I'm sitting over here like, how? This game sucks. But I'm gonna give Reload a chance on this because I feel like maybe I was too harsh with Portable. You know, maybe I was going into it thinking this is gonna be the fucking game of the year, you know, oh my god. I was so excited. I mean, when I tell you, I don't know if I watched it with my friends. I think I did in October, when they announced it. I think it was October, right? No, it wasn't October. I'm sorry. It was not October. That's when Persona 5 Royal came out. It was whatever the 3, 4, and 5 Royal were announced for, you know, all consoles, all platforms, you know. I, like, screamed my ass off. I was so excited, right, to play through Portable for the first time, right? But I think I got my hopes way too high. You know, and it's hard for me to kind of, I guess, I don't know. I think I just got my hopes up too high. I think with a lot of games nowadays, I think I have the problem of getting either my hopes up way too high and then hating the game, or getting my hopes up way too low and then loving the game, you know? I think a great example of this kind of like hype is actually what I'm playing through right now. Final Fantasy 16. This is, I think currently the outlier in this, because I have not been excited for like a game release since I think 2017 when like Miitopia came out on 3DS, right? I was ecstatic for that game, right? But with Final Fantasy 16, I'm expecting this to be my game of the year. Actually, this is kind of like a little bit like a sneak preview toward the review I'm gonna do. Not only am I expecting it to be my game of the year, I'm expecting it to go in my top 5 favorite games of all time. I'm only a fourth of the way in right now. Yeah. So I think that hype is genuinely warranted, but I think, circling back to now Persona 3 Portable, I think my hopes were way too high for it. I mean, I thought this would be the fucking game of the year. You know, oh my god, Persona 3, oh my gosh, no. No, this game is So I'm really, really, really hoping that I'm wrong about Reload, because I want to like this game. I want to sit and enjoy. I want this to be my definitive Persona 3 experience. I don't want Portable to be my only Persona 3 that I play, right? At the time, and I still stand by this, I don't want to play the original Persona 3. I don't want to play Persona 3 FES because it's like the same thing. I don't want to. I know Persona 3 Reload will be the same game, right? As the original, as FES, as Portable. But it will look like a Persona game, you know? I mean, you could make the argument that, the Portable, because the hardware limitations on the PSP, yes, I understand that's what I said in my game review. At least I think I did. If I didn't, then I'm saying it right now, that I understand it was held back to limitations at the PSP, but at the same time, that kind of game was made for people who had played the original, who had played FES. I don't think, personally, this might be a completely different opinion than yours, but personally, I don't think that game was made for people who had never played Persona 3 in their life. I think it was kind of like a follow-up, like, oh, hey, look, we have a female protagonist, so you can check out male social links. And speaking of male social links, I am pissed off about this. It's confirmed there is no male social links, like, with the party members in Persona 3 Reload. I'm pissed about this. I'm so mad about this. I mean, really? I would love to have a social link with Junpei, with Akihiko, with Shinji, you know? Like, do it! I don't understand why Atlus is so scared. This is how you fix every problem ever, right? This is exactly, I'm going to tell you all the solution, okay? I'm going to tell you all the solution to how to make this game the best game ever made, right? And how Atlus can improve upon this, right? Have a male and a female protagonist, and make both of them bisexual. Boom! There you go. Now you have every social link available to you. Doesn't matter what protagonist you play as. If they're both bisexual, it doesn't matter, right? Like, just, there you go. Come on now. Just do it, Atlus. What are you so scared of? I mean, this is literally what we've been asking for years. I mean, I have been asking for like a bisexual protagonist since, I don't even know when. I think, like, since Royal came out, which was 2020, I was like, can we get a bisexual protagonist, please? Or at least a female protagonist if they don't want to have gay characters for some reason. I don't know why they don't want to, but whatever, right? Or at least just have a female protagonist. Atlus is like, no. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing this? This is... I don't understand why they're so scared. I understand in, like, Japan, it might not be perceived as well, but, I mean, just do it. It doesn't have to, it's not like, it's just allowing the player to feel more immersed in your world. And that's one thing I have to give Fire Emblem Three Houses props on, is while, you know, like, you can play as a male or female character, you know, like a protagonist, Byleth, male or female, you can, of course, there's mostly straight options, but then there's 3 options for each protagonist that are the same gender as them. And I really like that. Now, of course, the male protagonist really got screwed over because 2 of the men were, like, 40-something years old? I mean, what? Okay, sure. And then at least the female options, those were good. I played as a female protagonist, I romanced Edelgard. It was great. But I like that at least Nintendo was open to the idea, right? At least they were open to it, right? Like, that's something that I think Atlus could so work on if they could do that. Have the male and female protagonists be in the game and both of them be bisexual. They are appeasing every crowd. Well, besides the homophobes, but who cares about them, right? You're appeasing basically every crowd that's going to play your game, right? I mean, seriously, think about it for a second here. I mean, this could be awesome. And I know I'm ranting about this at this point, but I just feel like if they do that, it's going to give more sales. I don't know why they don't do it. You know? I mean, because when you take a core gameplay feature out, like, Persona 3 Portable, one of the reasons why people played as the female protagonist wasn't because there was a female protagonist, because there were male social links. If you don't know how Persona 3 works, or like you're new to it, the male protagonist cannot have a social link with any of the male party members. So that includes Junpei, Akihiko, Ken, and Shinji. Now, sadly, I don't think Koromaru even has a social link. With those 4, I'll say human, because Koromaru's not human. But Junpei, Akihiko, Ken, and Shinji, if you play as a male character, play as the male protag, you cannot have a social link with them. You just can't. So, kind of, the female protagonist was added so that we could have that male social link. But seeing it be taken away from us, it's like, well, why? That's not that hard. Now, I'm coming from someone that just makes game reviews. I don't make video games, so maybe, like, it's very difficult to, like, add dialogue and stuff, but I mean, it's for what, 3 characters? 4 characters? Yeah, it's for 4 characters. Sorry, math's wrong. It's for 4 characters. I mean, come on. It's not that hard. I understand it's a portable feature, and they want this. They're basing this off of the original Persona 3. That's what they've said, that they're basing this off the original Persona 3. But then they've come out and said that they want this to feel like the definitive way to play Persona 3. This is not if you're taking away a huge gameplay feature that's prevalent in 4 and 5. You want this to feel like 5, right? Well, then you have male social links. I don't understand why they just don't add them. Like, what you can basically do, I saw this on YouTube. I thought it was pretty funny. That just replace the pronouns from the female, like, social links. So, okay, like, kind of what I'm saying here is when you play as the Persona 3 female protagonist, and you have, like, the male social links, they keep referencing her as, like, you know, she, her. Just change it to he, him, and then put it in reload. I don't know who said that on YouTube, but that was a very smart idea. Thank you. Credit to whoever said that on YouTube. I heard that a while ago. Like, I love that. But just change the pronouns, and then boom, there you go. There you go. Like, I don't think it's that hard. I mean, again, I don't make games. I'm sitting here in my bedroom playing video games and then making reviews. But I don't think it's that hard. I just don't think it is. I think they're making a mountain out of a molehill with this. I mean, I'm making a mountain out of a molehill with this, but I just don't. If you want this to be the definitive Persona 3, why you cut out multiple huge gameplay things that make this game the definitive version, I don't understand. You cut out the answer, which, sure, they can make it DLC. I don't think they're going to make male social links into DLC. I just don't think they are. You know what I mean? I don't understand what they're doing because they want to make money, right? They want to make that money. Referencing that SpongeBob meme of Mr. Krabs saying money. They want to make that money. So then why do you shoot yourself in the foot? I don't understand why they keep doing this. They want to make the money, but then they don't try anything to make the money. Hey, we want bisexual protagonists so we can romance everyone. Haha, no. Can we at least have male social links? Haha, no. We're asking for all this stuff and they're not delivering. Maybe later they will when they'll, like, change their mind on it. But apparently this game has been in development for years at this point and no one thought to add male social links. I mean, really? The biggest, honestly, complaint I've seen online with 3, 4, and 5. Now, 1 and 2, I'm sorry, I don't have knowledge on 1 and 2. I've not played 1 and 2. I'm waiting on, like, them to, like, re-release it, because apparently the whole reason they're re-releasing this game, Persona 3 Reload, is because of the fact that it was, I think, a Japanese poll they did, that all the fans ranked what game they wanted a remake of, and Persona 3 Portable tied with Persona 2. I think it was Innocent Sin it tied with, or Eternal Punishment. I can't remember which one, I'm sorry. But it tied, but they picked Persona 3. So maybe they'll do 1 and 2 next. That's the whole reason I haven't played it. But but circling back, out of 3, 4, and 5, like, I see the complaint online of, I don't know why they don't deliver on what we ask for. We've been asking for gay characters since, Persona 5 came out? I mean, like, the original vanilla Persona 5, not Royal, vanilla Persona 5, which was, 2016, 2017, I think? Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. But I just don't know why they don't deliver. I mean, they tried to add 2 gay characters in Persona 5. We all know how that went. If you know, you know. But I just don't understand why they keep shooting themselves in the foot. We asked for these features, and they're like, haha, no, take this instead. We're like, well, we don't want that. And they're like, suck it up and deal with it. And we're like, okay. Can we just get what we ask for? I mean, yes, we asked for a remake of Persona 3, and we're getting that. Thank you, at least we stand. We appreciate you. But at the same time, we ask you for very basic features that are now very prevalent in JRPGs. And they just don't deliver. I understand wanting to stick with the authenticity of Persona 3, right? It's a special thing, you know, that you don't want to mess it up. But at the same time, why they want to base it off of the original Persona 3 boggles my mind. What they should have done, this is what I think. What they should have done to make this the definitive Persona game, like the definitive Persona 3 game, is have all the base stuff from Persona 3, right? Cool. Then have an optional answer And then maybe, I also saw this on YouTube, props to whoever said this, maybe after you beat Persona 3 Reload, then once you get that New Game Plus, you can pick a female protagonist. Boom, there's your definitive experience. There you go. I just combined 3 games into 1 game. That wasn't that hard. Now, again, I've said this countless times already, but I'm not a game developer. I do not make video games. I don't understand. I mean, I kind of understand how kind of the process is, but I don't understand everything about it. But to me, it just seems like it's kind of like a no-brainer. Just add the answer as an optional epilogue. Like, if you've played Tokyo Xanadu, this is a great example of this. Highly underrated RPG. Go play it. I played it in April. Pretty good. But I don't think people understand, like, I know what Tokyo Xanadu did. Once you beat the main game, you have the epilogue. And then after you beat the epilogue, then you can beat kind of like the second epilogue called the after story. But you can play that epilogue after you beat the main game. It is completely optional. It's not required to enjoy the full experience of Tokyo Xanadu. It's not. But you can play it. I don't know why they don't do this. It's right in front of you. I don't understand, like, oh my god, I don't get it. Just have an optional answer. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Just have an optional answer and we're all good. You know? And then have, as like a New Game Plus reward, have that female protag be unlocked. There you go. Like, there you go. It's just frustrating to me at the same time, but whatever. I'm gonna kind of try to wrap this up here because I've been talking for 35 minutes. Oops. But overall, while this kind of whole thing has been me kind of ranting about what I am kind of pissed off about Persona 3 Reload, I think Reload is going to be the best Persona 3 we can experience. Now, that is a very bold statement I'm making, but I think it to be true. Now, of course, I haven't played the game. I won't play it until the game comes out, but I think looking at the trailers, screenshots, leaked gameplay, thanks IGN, that we have seen, I think this will be the best Persona 3 that you can experience. Is it the definitive Persona 3? No, of course not, because they're leaving out features like the answer and female protag from FES and Portable respectively. But I think this is going to be the best Persona 3 that they've made. Is it going to hold up to 4 and 5? That I don't know. I know they're trying to make Tartarus, like, not as boring by adding breakable objects and, like, dialogue, but, like, that can only go so far. Like, I'm sorry, like, that's gonna be so boring. You're on the 200th floor and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is so new and riveting because there's a box I can break. I've only done this 200 times. Oh, yeah, so fun. Okay, sure. That's exciting. No, it's not. That's actually the thing I hated most about Persona 3 Portable was Tartarus. I hated that thing so much. I think they can improve upon it, though. I know they're, like, breakable objects. I don't care. Get me in and out as fast as humanly possible, please. Thank you. But I just want this to be a good game. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm complaining, but in my heart of hearts, I want this to be a good game. I want this to be. I feel like people are maybe getting their hopes up a little too high about this game. You know, because everyone's like, oh my god, it's not the definitive Persona 3. Screw this game. It's bad. Horrible. Give it a chance. Just give it a shot, I'm thinking. Right? I mean, Atlas never said it'd be the definitive Persona 3. They never said that. They said it's based off of the original Persona 3. It's not the definitive version. It's based off of the original. So I just don't understand why people are getting so pissed off about it. Maybe I'm not understanding where they're coming from, but because I've gotten Persona 3, I've gotten into the Persona series pretty late. I got into it in 2019, but didn't play my first, like, mainline Persona game until 2020. So maybe I'm like not understanding where people are coming from with this, but Atlas never said it'd be the definitive version. They only said it would be based off of the original version. So I'm not understanding where they're coming from with this, like the people that are upset. I mean, I get that this Persona 3 has been around since what? I think it was 2001. It came out, the original, I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. I think it was 2001. But I feel like this game is going to be special. I feel like this is going to be maybe not the definitive way to play Persona 3, but it's going to be the best way to play Persona 3. You know, you see what I'm saying here? It's not going to be like the definitive. There's going to be no answers. There's going to be no female protag, possible DLC maybe. I don't know. But I feel like this is going to be the best way to experience Persona 3. if you're new to the series, or if you're, like if you're new, to Persona 3, or, if you've played every Persona 3 that's come out, then sure. But I just think that, I mean, personally, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this game to come out, and you know what? I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun game. And I hope everyone kind of sees the same thing, too. Some aspects might not be, like Tartarus is a great example. I think Tartarus is going to be so boring again, but if they can improve upon that story, improve upon the characters, I think this game is going to be good. I think it will be. I think it'll be the best way to play Persona 3. I think, even after being scarred from Portable, I think I will enjoy this game. And I'd say that, maybe look forward to it coming out. And if you don't want to buy it right away, maybe look up reviews of something on it, right? Right as the game comes out, there's always someone that has a review the day after it comes out, because the game early. Look for those reviews. I personally, if I keep doing this, which I do plan on it, I am going to review Persona 3 Reload. And maybe my review, maybe someone else's review will help figure out if that is the game for you or not. But I just think that overall, I think it's a really smart move on Atlus's part to listen to what the fans want, add Persona 3 Remake, or I keep calling it Remake. Persona 3 Reload, which is a remake. I like it. I think we should be excited for this game, and I am looking forward to it.